Hello there, it's Kush TV here for another episode of our informal discussions. We've got Walkz here, and we're just going to ask him a few questions about what he's been doing in his recent couple weeks and a couple of topics that's in the media. Now, first of all, just to put yourself out there, just tell me a couple of artists that you've worked with, like recently or in the past.
I've worked with Double S, D-Froze. There's a few American artists, working with one called Truly Fresh out in VA. Danze. There's a lot. Shocker. Off the top of my head, I'm not too sure, but yeah, those are some of the names that I'm working with currently.
You don't have to name them, but is there any artists that you just like have a special like little click with? Like just
D-Froze.
Yeah?
D-Froze.
Definitely.
We're always going back and forth, like Dropboxing each other stuff, going through sessions and that. I'd say, yeah, definitely him.
How long you been doing this? Like officially, would you say?
Officially?
Well, obviously, when you've been doing it from the get-go,
Yeah.
and you thought to yourself, obviously, I want to make beats, like that's me.
2012, I'd say.
Okay, so you've been doing it for about 4 years.
Seriously, yeah, 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've always had an interest though.
Yeah, I started producing when I was about 9, 10.
Okay.
So about 12 years ago.
Okay. So what do you use like? Because back in the day, I had a little try on Fruity Loops. Trust me, I weren't no good. You get me? I weren't no good. I'm not gonna lie. I leave that to professionals like yourself. But like, what do you use?
I started off with Fruity Loops 3, when I was around 9, 10. And then, yeah, just progressed with Fruity Loops. I tried out Keybase, didn't like it. Tried out Logic. At first, I didn't like it, but yeah, now I use Logic.
Like, so, do you have any advice for like the young beat makers out there that's starting off in the game and want to put themselves out there? Like, give like your own way that you've done things and any advice that you've gained during what you've been doing.
Well, it depends on what route they want to take, I'd say. But what I would say, regardless of what avenue you want to take, attach yourself to an up-and-coming artist that's around your area that you believe in. Because if you keep on going hard with that person, eventually people are going to come to you for that sound. They're going to know you through that person. If your work is good enough, they're going to want to get some work from you as well. So definitely attach yourself to an up-and-coming artist and just push them as hard as you can.
So kind of like Jahil Beats and Meek Mill kind of thing.
Like that, 40, Drake, Tim and Leah. There's always one like standout group of a producer and an artist that always go. So find yours. There's obviously in the UK, J Huss and JOAT, Marvel and SX, Tiny Temper, Nana Rogues. There's always the Gigs and Boom Production. There's always a few, man. Always.
Have you ever gave someone a beat, you don't have to say their name obviously, and thought, yeah, you've given it to them, you spent hours in the lab, you've given it to them, you've given it back to you, and you thought, what is this? I've spent up, like, this is nonsense, isn't it?
Yeah, I have.
What is that like? Like, explain that feeling.
Do you know what, yeah? I'll try and give feedback, and sometimes they don't listen to you. Like, you'll say they'll say, yeah, I'll change this, I'll change that, as you advise them, and then they'll put it out and nothing's in it. I'm just like, alright, cool. I'm gonna leave you to do your thing, and that's it. Like, I'll just give the beat to someone else.
Okay. So listen, now, let me just take you away from yourself for a minute. With Skepta going number 1 a couple weeks ago in the charts, do you think like this is a new era for UK artists?
I definitely think that it's more like emphasis on the UK culture at the moment. It's it's always been great, but there's more media attention and stuff. More people in different territories are starting to pay attention. So I would say it's the start of something new, and just got to see where it goes from here. Hopefully it's only up.
Okay. So with like, there's a lot of young artists now coming out, like 6-7, and the Section Boys. Like I see them doing shows overseas. Does that give you kind of inspiration to think like, yeah, what I'm doing, I can be up there as well?
My route is kind of different, and my goals are kind of different to everybody else. So I don't really too tough watch others' journeys and stuff. I'm happy for their success, but in terms of where I want to go and the type of music I do, it isn't really in that direction.
Okay. Well, we'll get onto that a bit later. But who's your top 3 kind of rappers in the game?
Top 3 rappers in the game, up and coming or out now?
That's out now.
Cass is dead. It's definitely number 1. Still listen to like his 07, 05 stuff. Gunna D.
Yeah.
And who would be the third rapper in the UK that I listen to hard? Let's go Shocker from Marvel.
No Gigs. No Joe Black.
Joe Black I don't listen to. Gigs, he's one of the top, but his last album could have been better, so he's not in there at the moment.
I think that's an unusual 3. But who do you reckon your top 3 in the US is then?
Top 3 in the US, Tory Lanez number 1. Who else would I put up there? Let's go Tory Lanez. J. Cole. And someone different. Who do I like?
Off the top.
Jadakiss.
Okay, that one was a bit more what I would have thought you would have chosen. The other one kind of that threw me a bit. But
Which one?
What the first 3? You didn't put Gigs in there. I thought Gigs would be a short. Like, do you get like most people's top 3 UK? Cause he is UK rap, innit? Do you get like, in my opinion? Cause before people was more doing the grime thing before they come along. Do you get what I mean?
No, Gigs is hard. It's just that last album. Oh. If it was to judge before the last album, he's in the top 3.
Okay.
Probably top 1, top 2.
So obviously, I said that UK is definitely coming up there, but is it UK or US rap for you? What's on the playlist more?
More US, definitely more US. Just because I'm not too tough a fan of the drill rap thing, and that's what's big over here at the moment. So.
But the drill rap kind of come from America though.
It comes from America, but it's very UK influenced anyway. Like the beats are at like 140, 145, and that's from UK. And most of the producers you'll see now that are doing the Chicago drill thing are from the UK. So they're infusing grime and stuff into those drill beats. So yeah, I definitely say that that's a UK influenced genre anyway.
But that's got to be a good thing, right?
It's a good thing. I like some of the songs, but as like listening to it a lot, I don't do that. The only one I probably listen to is Abracadabra. And I'm kind of biased because we're from the same area, so.
Okay. Well, someone else is from the same area as you. Chipmunk, he had a little beef a couple of weeks ago with Young and I think Jay Spade sent in for Stormzy a couple of weeks ago. Do you think beef like this is healthy for the game?
It depends, because if you take it like Bugsy Malone did and go Tottenham High Road, then no, it's not healthy.
Do you think them things should just be separate?
Very separate, because I doubt many people were happy about that, and then it just causes problems that don't need to be there. But as long as it stays lyrical and people aren't getting rubbed for their Nandos, then yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's good though, because it gets people on, like, listening to the music. It gets people wanting to hear more. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Especially with the
definitely.
Chipmunk Young, and it was all over my Twitter when it was. All over my. I couldn't get away from it. So
Yeah, it's definitely entertaining. Again, but when it starts to get to man them getting caught lacking and all of this stuff, it takes away from it kind of. It does and it doesn't. It depends, but if someone's in danger over it, what's the problem? What's the point? Sorry.
all right, do you think like hip hop has changed? Because I've seen a lot of older artists, especially, coming out to say hip hop has changed. Do you agree or disagree?
I definitely agree. Like, it's taken a shift from actual bars and then gone into a whole different direction. And now it's just melodies and roads and like there used to be a balance, but the balance is kind of gone now. And like, yeah, it's definitely changed it. From it's basically American influence. And from that, it's just trickled over to the UK, and yeah, everybody's trying to jump on the bag with them.
Do you think there's a deeper agenda behind this change in hip hop?
In America, I do. Yeah, because you got to think about it. Someone makes decisions to say, yeah, we're gonna support this release, and we're not gonna support this type of release. Someone on radio says, yeah, we're gonna play this, but we're not gonna play this. So, those people that are saying that ain't really in our community. They don't want, like, they don't care what happens. They just want to sell. And if that's what we're hearing 24/7, we're gonna start to get used to it, and it's gonna grow on people. Because I'm sure there's plenty of songs you didn't like at first, and they played it enough, and it grew on you. So, yeah, it's in America, I think it is, and it's just trickled down to the UK kind of.
How do you think that maybe, as you say, the balance could be restored or things could be changed?
Well, first of all, kind of think we got to do our own thing a bit more. So, like the independent radio stations that we own and the ones that are supporting us. So you got Radar Radio that's getting hard with the grime stuff. You've got Mode FM that's an internet radio station that's pioneering stuff in the house scene and the grime scene. And that's, yeah, again, independently owned. So you start switching off Capital Extra and then them ones that don't really have any interest in what's actually going on. You start listening to the ones that we own. I think that kind of helps the balance still.
It's funny that you mentioned Capital Extra, 'cause I remember it and it was Trace FM, and I think it was better then.
See, when it was Trace FM, it was kind of bearable. It was nice Capital Extra. It's a bit... started firing people, the people we're all used to. And yeah, man, I don't know. I don't listen to the radio really like that.
At first, I thought they was going to be smart and keep the people that we recognised.
But this was always going to happen with change of management. You see it all the time. People try coming with new philosophies and all of that. Just changes everything. So yeah, I kind of foresee that happening still.
Do we need more black-owned record labels? Do you reckon that would help?
I think we need more knowledge of the industries within our communities in general. Because I guarantee, like me for example, when I first started producing, I didn't know nothing about it. I learned through my relationships with other artists in Tottenham that's had success and asking them questions and then reading myself. So I think knowledge in general, just to better navigate the industry. And then yeah, we do need our own labels that's going to put money behind the people that the labels won't put money behind. So yeah, I definitely think we do still.
How can this happen? If you could wave a magic wand tomorrow, what would you put in place to kind of make sure these things happen?
Put SBTV, link up and that on Sky. Like, give them their own channels and that.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I've never heard anybody say that. But yeah, go on. Explain a bit more.
if it's just more accessible, more people are gonna kind of watch it.
I'd watch it.
Exactly.
I'd watch it.
We'd rather watch Link Up TV on our Sky than channel, another channel, and MTV and them ones because it's more relatable to us, innit? So I'd put them on TV. I'd give more funding to like the up and coming like channels and stuff like that. Just give more of a platform because the platforms we do have at the moment kind of don't support correctly. They do and they don't. They pick and choose. So yeah.
So it's almost like you're saying, basically, if you are trying to put out something positive, if you are trying to be different, it ain't gonna get out there anyway.
It's not.
Or it's more difficult to get out there. Like, like, do you think if you're there talking about you wig this done, you trap this, you move kilos, than if you was talking about something uplifting? What do you think is more likely to get you to 1 million views?
The trap. Because a lot of people think that's cool and that's the end thing. This is a young man's game, so whoever's into that lifestyle is going to gravitate towards it. The man them like it, the gal are going to like it because they want the man them to be impressed, and vice versa. So, yeah, I say the trap, you got to look at it like this. Lil Sims is probably one of the best rappers in the UK right now. She's doing madness. Madness is over in America. Her face is on SoundCloud every day, like on the front page. But who in our scene really talks about the successes she's had? She's doing concerts at South by Southwest, performing in America where everybody's spitting her bars, but you don't see her mentioned in our Twitter conversations, on our blog sites and stuff like that, because she's not talking about what we find interesting.
Do you think that maybe in our community we have a problem with supporting each other in general? Maybe it's not just the music.
Yeah, you do. See, everybody's just selfish. Like, it's kind of bringing the hood mentality into the commercial world. Because, like, everyone wants to see someone do good, but not better than them. And then when they do better than them, you kind of feel entitled to what they have because you've been around. And that's the problem. The entitlement that we have as people is going to mess us up in the long run.
Okay, let me just move you away from that a second. Did you hear about this story about Chris Brown and this girl in the house?
Yeah.
What did you think of it? Well, does it explain, just in case, well, obviously everybody should have heard it, but just in case anybody doesn't know, just explain it quickly.
So from what I've heard, he had a few people around. Someone was showing people jewelry, and from that, a girl said something, and through her saying something, Chris has pulled out a gun on her, and she's gone and called the feds and TMZ. So that's the story, kind of like the brief story of what I've got so far anyway. As for my thoughts on it, I try not to judge situations too tough. Her story don't really sound legit, because if someone's pulled a gun at you and told you to get out of the house, why are you getting to TMZ? What they got to do with the situation? Why are you trying to get like commercial gain out of it if you're really threatened? She could be telling the truth, but just certain things don't sit right with that story.
Yeah, they see some text or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, telling her friend that, boom, let's set him up, Do you think maybe this is just a bit of they was out to, like, they get me, just out to get the black man kind of thing?
With Chris Brown, it's a madness still. Like, I was just thinking about it the other day, how it's finally starting to quiet down for my man. But then that happens. But yeah, they're on him still. They're on him. He's easy to, it seems like he's easy to get.
Yeah, I think he is just a bit of an easy target, isn't he?
Easy to get cake out of, because this guy's had plenty lawsuits, man.
Yeah, but don't help yourself. You're smoking weed on a plane, doing all these things. You get me?
I don't know what's going on in that man's life for him to act the way he does. I can't judge at all.
Earlier, I asked you about your top 3 artists that was out there already, which was questionable. But what's your top 3 up and coming artists?
Up and coming artists. Danze, D Froze, Abracadabra. Those are the top 3.
Okay, they that's a very they all seem to be from one area, but
Yeah.
yeah. But listen,
I'm supportive of my North London people, man.
yeah, I think that's important that you should support each other. But you see earlier, yeah, when we was talking about like how hip hop has changed. Did you see that DJ Khaled video with Nas? Have you seen it?
I've seen a bit of it. I refuse to watch it with the accent. I can't do it to myself.
But listen, you need to watch it because what he's talking about in that thing, it's a bit different still. It's not the same kind of
that
thing.
Jamaican accent is way too forced for me to try it. I'm stressing thinking about it. I've seen a 10-second clip, but I had to turn it off.
But listen, at least it's uplifting. I think they're trying to change the balance a bit with that one, if I'm being honest.
Khaled's doing his thing, man. Khaled, he's secretly giving people knowledge, and everybody just sees it as marketing or him being crazy Khaled or whatever. But he's doing a lot still.
No, people see him on his Snapchat, he's always watering his plants and...
Yeah, but he's dropping secret gems that no one's really gonna know unless they're reading or trying to gain knowledge elsewhere out of what we've been taught. So
What you say, DJ Khaled the philosopher?
he's doing his thing still. Yeah. DJ Khaled's the guy. But I'm not watching that for Jamaican accent. Not it.
Okay. Who's your favourite producer? Who's your favourite producers, like UK and US?
When I was coming up, or
No, the ones that are just out already.
Essex has to be at the top, like one of the top 3.
Who does he do tunes for mainly?
Pardon?
Who does he do songs for mainly?
He started out with Marvel. He's done tunes for like YMCMB and that. He's done tunes for Bugsy Malone. Bare different people, DWE. There's a few on his resume still. But yeah, he was like one of the people I tried to emulate when I first started making beats. So he has to be in there. The other 2, we're talking about US and UK separate lists or?
Both. Just both together.
Both together. If you're in the US, do I rate like that? Nana Rocks is another one. Another one from the UK. And then from the US, I have to say London on the Track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's cold still. But those would be my top 3. If I imagine a list.
Who's your top artist of 2016?
Abracadabra. It has to be him.
He's just kind of blown up, isn't he?
It has to be him. No one knew who he was 4 months ago. I didn't know who he was 4 months ago. So it has to be him. Like, it's different when you see someone from your area that's older than you having success than you see someone younger than you having success. It's definitely a different feeling. But yeah.
How is it different?
Because there's Marvel, for example. They're from Tottenham. You see them going on tours and that. And that's your big bros and whatever. You're proud of them. But you see Abracadabra, that's what? 3-4 years younger than me. Blowing up. Like, they blew up. And it's like, rah. You're doing your thing. Like, I like that. He's creating a way for himself with the age I wish I did. So it's definitely a different feeling still.
Okay, we're going to step away from the music now. I want to ask you, did you watch Gangland?
I refuse. I refuse. Like,
Obviously. Why? Why didn't you watch it?
because from what I've seen, yeah, everybody's saying it's depicting black people in a negative light and whatever else. We've seen that that narrative so long in America. Like, if I'm not entertaining it once it comes over here, like I'm not talking about it, I'm not watching it, because what they're watching is the reaction and people talking about it and the ratings. If I feed into that, they're just gonna do more. So you stop giving attention to the stuff you don't like, it will go away. That's my kind of thesis behind it.
Obviously, I thought it was a bit propaganda-ish. Do you agree?
From what I've heard, yes, which is why I'm not like.
Because there was only one race of people in it.
Yeah, black people. But you see, like, there's bare series that you've watched that's been cancelled in the first season because not enough people watched it. Stop talking about Gangland, stop watching it. They're going to cancel the series, bro.
So you're saying people shouldn't feed into the hype?
No, like, switch off Channel 5. Don't, like, another black man that's meant to be older selling man out and not telling us what it's really meant for.
Yeah, because he's old, isn't it? He's like, he's a
at
dad.
Dad's age.
He could be a granddad. Do you get what I'm saying?
Dad's
Like,
age, right?
he's a big man. Like,
Yeah, don't watch it. Don't watch it.
I don't really think gangs are necessarily a black problem. Do you agree?
There's gangs everywhere. I lived in Southgate for how many years? It was bare Greek gangs, white gangs, Irish gangs. It's everywhere, man. Police is a gang, ain't it?
Talking about police, you heard about the Colin Kaepernick story in America.
Yep.
What do you think about it?
He's free to do what he wants. Like, they love to boast that America's a free country and whatever else. But as soon as someone does something the majority don't like, you start to talk about, this person's wrong, you shouldn't be allowed to do this. You want to start enforcing rules on him, enforcing punishment. Their constitution says you have a freedom of speech. He chose to sit down. He can do what he wants. Let him do it.
Do you regard him as a hero? Like, some people are comparing him to Ali and things like that. And obviously recently I see an interview today and he does speak very well on the issues, I think, and he's well informed. Do you think he's a bit of a hero for what he's done?
No, yeah. The heroes to me are like Dr. Umar Johnson, Farrakhan, them man there. Those are the heroes to me. Come on. It's all well and good raising awareness, but what do you do then? You've got to start funding like the stuff you're supporting. Like Dr. Umar Johnson's building a school for black kids. You've got to respect it. He's actually doing something that's gonna benefit the future. Yeah, he's raising awareness, but I want to see man start funding certain things and that. Then I'll call man a hero. But yeah, respect to him anyway.
So, if he starts funding things, you'll be calling him a hero.
Yeah, like, well, he doesn't have to. No one owes anybody anything in this world. But like,
but listen, he could have sat down. He could have just stood up like everybody else. He didn't have to.
He didn't have to, no. And no one would have said, no one would have dissed him for not doing it. Now he's done it. Like, I want to see man go into communities, yeah, that don't really have like the NFL academies and start helping train those people and them type of things. Like, that's what I want to see. Because again, it's all good raising awareness to the issue, but then what's the action behind it? What do we do now?
Well, someone that is trying to do things in in Tottenham, yeah, in our area, North London, is Skepta. Apparently he's opening a music school. Do you respect things like that?
I did. I used to see Skepta in the area all the time. Like, you see on Instagram, he's in Meridian or whatever. And you're like, it would be dope if he did something for the community or something. So for him to build the school in Selby Centre that had their music studio closed down like years ago, because I used to go there when I was like 15. It's dope, man. It's definitely dope and needed still.
Just to round it off, do you have any like words of advice or anything like that for like up and coming artists that are trying to get out there producers that are trying to get out there, doing their thing, kind of like you, and just any little tips you could give them to help further themselves in what they're doing?
Support other people. Just be genuine and support others. And the support will come back to you. You help someone build their dream, someone's going to help you build yours. Like, definitely say keep supporting, because everyone's selfish. They just want like their stuff to pop but not help no one else out, and it doesn't really build relationships. So I definitely say support someone. From you supporting someone, you're more likely to gain a supporter that way, whether they're doing music or they're just doing fashion or anything, an academic. Just support what they're doing, give them encouragement, talk to them, like build that relationship, and then through that you will get some people that support you, because it's never your friends that's going to help you blow. Your friends ain't going to be the ones to be in a rush to watch your video or share your video. So build those relationships with people that you have access to through social media and them type of things. That would be my advice though. I want to give a big shout out to Kush TV for having this interview. Check me out at www.prodbywalkz.com. That's PRODBYWALKZ.com. Definitely follow me on social media. Everything's at prodbywalkz. So again, PRODBYWALKZ. And then shout out to Kush London. Go get their merchandise on the website. It's www.kushclothinglondon. That's London as LDN.co.uk. Peace, Walkz signing out.